Actually, let's make a start now. So, welcome everyone. If you can, just put your camera on just for me to see your face so I can connect with you. I love to connect with faces. And then I'm absolutely fine if you want to have your camera off afterwards, but I really want to see your faces. Smiling or not, it would be nice. But please keep your mics on mute. Hello everyone, it's nice to see you. Really nice. I mean, it just amplifies my happiness times 1,000 because, you know, we've been in this strange place this year, looking into screens quite often, not being able to see people back when you're talking. It makes it a little 2D, and actually I really want this to have texture and depth because I really want you to have a nice experience, basically. So welcome to this webinar on how to meditate effectively. This is probably going to last 45 minutes to 1 hour, and it's being recorded right now, so it will be available on YouTube later. It will be uploaded, and it's being live streamed. So hello everyone on Facebook. Just another reminder, if you can, keep your mics on mute. At the end, there'll be a Q&A section, so you do get to speak. You do get your chance at the end. And any questions, keep them to the end as well. So let's start with a brief introduction to who I am. My name's Gayle, and I'm a holistic coach, holistic health coach, a meditation coach, and I run meditation courses and programs on full potential and transformation. And I also do something called the Holistic Healthcare Plan, which is like a check-in service for people who really want to turn their health around. I like to empower women, so I have a global women's group called When Women Gather, and I'm also an ordained metaphysical minister. What else am I? I'm a breast cancer survivor, and I have 2 kids, and I was born and raised in London. So that's me. So meditation. All right, so let's just try something, okay? This is an experiment. Everybody right now, just close your eyes, try and empty your mind, concentrate, empty your mind, concentrate. Don't worry about thoughts in your head, just concentrate and block out all the sounds around you. Yeah, now breathe. Make sure you're thinking about your breathing and concentrate. Okay, there was the perfect example. You can open your eyes, by the way. That was not a real meditation. It was the perfect way not to meditate, okay? Not to meditate effectively. So basically, you really don't want to be putting any effort in to concentrate. And, you know, we all know how difficult it is when someone tells you, just clear your mind. Because as soon as someone tells you to clear your mind, thoughts come in your mind, inevitably. So we're going to talk today about how to get your meditation and your whole setup very comfortable and effective for you so that you can sustain a meditation practice, basically. That's all we want to do. We want to get you to a place where it's so comfortable and so effective that you embed this practice into your life and it becomes daily part of your routine. So that was how not to start meditating. Like, never try and force it. If you're not in the mood or if you're tired, any of those things, it's like banging a square peg in a round hole. And it was quite, I'm very moved actually, because in front of me I just saw you lot trying to meditate with your eyes closed, even though I'm shouting demands at you. So thanks for complying, but we don't really need to be like that. All right, so what is meditation? Oh, such a vast subject. Okay, meditation. Okay, it's a vast science. There are many different types of meditation. If you look at dance, for example, as a vast subject, there are many different types of dance. There are many different types of yoga, many different types of meditation. There are the kinds that we call mindfulness meditation. There are the kinds that we do with mantra. There are the kinds that we do with feeling our energy. There are the kinds that are Tibetan, or there are the kinds that we do with our breath. meditation is also when you're completely absorbed and consumed in something. So many people, when they're doing something like painting or writing or some kind of craft like embroidery, or even sport, where people are really focused and completely absorbed, that's a form of meditation too. But really what we're talking about today is the kind where we're sitting down and we're taking this time for ourselves every single day to enhance our life. We're doing this to connect with ourselves, to connect with the wider energy or source of all that is, and to get to know ourselves better and to embed this practice into our life. From a yoga perspective, and in former life, I taught yoga meditation for 15 years in London. But from a yoga perspective, it's one limb of the 8 limbs of yoga. Actually, of the 8 limbs, 3 of them relate to meditation: dharana, dhyana, samadhi. Sorry, dhyana, dharana, samadhi. And the 8 limbs of yoga, they start with very gross things, like the do's and don'ts of how to live your life, and then it goes into asana practice, physically putting your body in specific positions. Then it gets more and more refined. So then it talks about pranayama, breath work, pratyahara, withdrawal of the senses, and then dhyana, focus of your senses into one-pointedness, dharana, which is actual meditation itself, and then samadhi, which is absorption. So the 8 limbs of yoga span from the very gross to the very subtle, and the last 3 limbs pertain to meditation. So what is meditation? Meditation is a place and a method where you can plug in to source, right? It's like having a big plug and you plug into our universal consciousness, because we are all one. We're one unified consciousness, which is manifested into different streams of focus. But in meditation, you're tapping in or plugging in to your higher source of consciousness. And when you're plugged into that, it's like plugging into an infinite array of energy and information, cosmic, universal, godlike information. So why do we want to establish this practice? Because when we do, we derive lots of benefits from it, and we are able to stand back from our mind and observe ourselves. And when we can stand back and observe ourselves, we can then realize that we are not who we are. We're not the clothes we wear. We're not the things that we say. We're not the mood that we feel we're in at that particular time. We are more than that. There's a much bigger picture, which is permanent. Of course, our moods and our behaviors and our conversations, they will change from day to day, and they don't represent us. We are not a set of labels. We're a bigger thing than that. And meditation allows us to take that step back and be the observer. Being the observer is very crucial because it allows us to regulate our own behaviors. And when we can regulate our own behaviors, we can master our own behaviors. And when we can master our own behaviors, we can master our mood. And when we can master our mood, we'll be like Yoda. We can have a very happy, fulfilled life. You may have £1 billion in the bank, but if you're unwell, sick and pissed off, there's no point to any of that if you can't master your mood. So being able to master your mood, being able to take yourself out from a place of feeling angry, jealous, upset, miserable, to a state of well-being and happiness, then you are very, very powerful. So we'll come back to the benefits a bit more, but in a nutshell, that's what meditation is. So how to meditate effectively? Not what we were doing, obviously. There are a number of things. The first one I'd say is preparation. So when you make the skill a habit, these things you won't need to think about. It's kind of second nature. It's like when you sit down to watch TV, you know there are certain things that you do. You make yourself comfortable, first and foremost. A lot of us, if we're sitting down, it's the end of our day, we make sure we have a drink, maybe a cup of tea or something. If it's winter, we may have a blanket on the sofa. We make sure the heating's right. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about, the basic stuff, but this is quite important to set in place and actually make the time and the effort to rigorously go out your way to make it so comfortable that you really enjoy the experience. So we're talking about how to meditate effectively, and by effectively I mean that you can keep coming back to this and keep enjoying it rather than be perturbed because you're not enjoying the experience. So preparation, number 1. Awareness, number 2. Focus, number 3. Acceptance, number 4. And gratitude, number 5. So let's come back to preparation. Preparation means your personal comfort. It's peace and quiet around you, making sure that you've got a nice place where you're undisturbed. People aren't just going to barge in on you, especially if you live with other people or you live with family or kids, that you can say to people, I'm going to go off and have some private time now, or some meditation time for 10-20 minutes. Please don't disturb me. Checking the temperature is right. So it might be nice to have some blanket or cover close by, so you can just put it over your legs or over your feet. If you're like me, you get cold feet. Make sure you get your phone off. So your phone on silent, or better still, the phone is not even in the room. It depends if you're going to use your phone as an alarm, if you're going to set a schedule, a certain amount of time for your meditation practice. But if you're not using your phone for the alarm, it's really great if you don't have it in the room. Make sure that you're not hungry when you go into meditation, because it could be the number 1 focus of your practice. And you're not tired, because you will fall asleep. If you fall asleep, it's actually not a bad thing. It means you need sleep. We're all not sleeping enough as it is. And then posture. So aside from your comfort, let's talk about posture for a bit. Right. So in the ancient scriptures and the Vedic texts, they have all these pictures of yogis sitting with lotus position and a very straight back. And there's a reason for that, so that you have a sturdy base, so you cannot be disturbed by anything, so you are free to meditate. That's if you've got very flexible hips and you know, you're a young yogi in the Himalayas a couple of centuries ago. There's another reason why you're supposed to sit very straight. That's because your spine is actually a circuit board, and you know, you're probably aware that you have these chakras positioned along your spine. And we talk a little bit about Kundalini and raising the Kundalini, but to stay in a more basic way, you have these chakras, and when your spine is aligned and quite straight and erect, the energy is free to move up and down the spine. And what a lot of these scriptures talk about is the intention of these yogis to sit there until the circuit board makes full connection from the base chakra to the crown chakra, and they become enlightened. So they connect with source, and then they connect with the earth. Okay, so we're in 2020, and as I said, we have tight hips. And I worked for a couple of years with children with special needs, and some of these kids had multiple sclerosis, and I worked as a yoga therapist with them, and they cannot ever get a straight back. Okay, they'll never be able to sit in lotus position. They'd be lifted out of their wheelchair. And my intention as a yoga therapist was to get them to a place of peace and serenity and bliss. So bring them into a place where they're just focusing on the breath or a chant or one-pointedness and focus, but they didn't have their back straight. This is the point I'm making, but they're still able to meditate, right? Everybody is able to meditate. They don't have to be a ballerina or a yogi with perfect posture. So when I say preparation, you know, right temperature, peace and quiet, good cover, comfort, not hungry, phone off, etc. Posture within the limits of what's comfortable for you. So if it means, let me try and get myself in my chair, that I'm going to be in this practice, meditation practice, and it's going to really hurt my knees, and I'm going to sit here for 20 minutes and my knee is going to start to it's going to start to pain, and my back, in the middle of my back is starting to hurt, then I'm completely distracted by the pain, and that's totally defeating the object. So the primary object of meditation is the connection, okay? It actually trumps posture. So while everybody talks about straight back, you actually want comfort first, so you can maintain or get your connection. Okay, so once we've prepared everything for meditation, then what I ask you to do is become aware. So it's not asking much. So becoming aware of the temperature of the room, becoming aware of the 5 senses. So becoming aware of what you can hear. Could be inside the room, could be outside the room, it could be inside your body. Becoming aware of what you can see. So more often than not, you're going to have your eyes closed. And when you have your eyes closed, it's interesting because it's like a blank movie screen, if you like. You know, watching the inside of your forehead is kind of like a blank movie screen, especially if you're directed to focus on your third eye. So focusing what you hear, focusing on what you see, in which case if your eyes are closed, you'll be seeing, you know, maybe some floating blobs or, you know, patches of colour, which is kind of normal. Focusing on how your body is feeling, you know, comparatively, your left side of your body compared to your right side. How do your joints feel? How do your shoulder joints feel? How do your knees feel? Your ankles, your hips? How does the neck feel? How does the stomach feel? You know, becoming aware of everything in a kind of microscopic way, actually, externally and internally. This awareness in itself is a mindfulness practice, and mindfulness is the same as meditation. Mindfulness relates more to something that's a bridge into meditation, which brings focus. So these things that I'm saying to you, they sound like no-brainers, but just becoming aware. It's easy to forget because, you know, we're so distracted during the day of looking externally at other objects and stimuli that we don't think of these things, right? So becoming aware of what you hear, you see, possibly what you taste, how you feel in your body, everywhere in your body, what you smell, okay? So what you smell, and then awareness of the breath. So everything to do with the nose. So becoming aware of the breath going in the nose and the breath leaving the nose, and the subtleties of that, you know, the slight change in temperature as it enters and exits the body. Last of all, I'd say become aware of your feelings. So as you're sitting in this still place, you're kind of drilling down, you know, you're drilling down from the outside world into the very deep, vast, infinite internal world. So, you know, you're focusing on the sounds outside, and then you're coming in and everything's there, and you're focusing on sensations within and around your skull and your body, right? So you're really coming in. And then you go in a bit further, you can think about your feelings, you know, how am I feeling today? Perhaps if you're feeling a little bit anxious, then just observing, what am I feeling anxious about? Do I know? Okay, maybe I don't know, but I can feel it here in my stomach. I wonder if I can remember the last time I felt that there. You know, that kind of awareness. Or my skin is feeling itchy. You know, I've noticed the skin on my ankles is itchy, and maybe I've got an allergy, I don't know, but this kind of awareness, all right? Feelings, noting how you are at that precise point in time, you know, literally at the start of a meditation practice. But that's what I mean by awareness. Once you've got that, then we can talk about focus. So preparation, getting the setup right, awareness, becoming aware of everything you can literally think of, and then focus. So finding then one thing to focus on. Now, typical in meditation and in yoga, And in most martial arts or energy practices, one focuses on the breath, right? So focusing on the breath is a really good way to start. Focusing on your body, so focusing on the places where your body touches the chair. Okay, could be your elbows, your buttocks, your back. It might be your ankles if you've got your legs crossed in a chair like me, or it might be your feet on the floor. You can focus on an image. So you could be focusing on an image of Buddha, for example, or green Tara, or an image of an angel, or an image of a glowing light. A vast number of things that you could focus on. You could focus on a sunset. Our last meditation that I did here with Illuminations, we did a lovely practice where we went through focusing on a series of different things, really lovely things, from warm sunshine, warm rain, I can't remember all of them now, glowing sunsets, things like that, you know. But what you're actually doing now is you've pulled your attention in from outside, you've involuted in with your awareness, and now you've got a one-pointedness of focus. You're focusing on something in particular. So focus is the next step. The next word I'm going to say is acceptance. The next thing to meditate effectively is this notion of acceptance. So it's inevitable that you're going to have some better days of meditation and some worse days of meditation. The more you meditate, the more easy it'll get. It's kind of like driving a car or riding a bike. The more you do it, the more you don't have to think about it. It's automated. And in the end, you'll be kind of just closing your eyes and you'll just be plugged in straight away, and you'll find it quite lovely right from the get-go. But there'll still be times, even for the most seasoned meditators, that you'll find it hard, because sometimes your body may be feeling unwell, right? And it's a great indicator of what's going on in your body, this level of awareness, right? If your mind is racing, your mind is disturbed. It probably means your breath is disturbed. It probably means your physiology is disturbed. It can happen. We can get run down, we can get tired, we can get stressed. We may not even realize it until we come to meditate. There may be days where we're just too tired, or we're disturbed, or we just haven't found the time or the space. But acceptance in that is key, really key, because it's the difference between carrying on with a meditation practice and not carrying on. So no one's allowed, if I was in charge, I'd say no one's allowed to beat themselves up over not feeling that they're meditating well. So it even means to the level of, if you start meditating and I'm saying to you, you know, think of a glowing orange sunset over the ocean and the waves lapping at the shore, lapping in, lapping out, lapping in, lapping out. And then you're like, oh, I need to send that person an email. I've got to make an appointment for my son's dentist. Oh God, I need to call my mum. Oh, I didn't pick up the tomatoes at the supermarket. All this kind of stuff. You don't need to say, oh, this is not working for me. This is really annoying. You know, I've got too much on my mind. I can't do it. All you need to do is find some humor in it and say, oh, look at my mind. It's, there it goes, you know, like a distracted toddler. There it goes. It's my monkey brain. In fact, mind is a brilliant tool. It makes us do a lot of tasks very effectively throughout the day. It's a great strategist and calculator and estimator. But right now there's no use for it, but it's habituated to working, and there it goes, ha ha ha. So, you know, you may have heard maybe people teaching meditation or in yoga classes say, you know, watch the thoughts come and go like clouds passing by in the sky. That may work for you. That's a nice one, you know, when you get these thoughts, you know, say, oh, look, here, there's my thought. I've had a thought. I'm trying to meditate. Oh, let me just watch it. It will pass. Everything passes. Everything's impermanent. Or you can just be light-hearted about it. Say, oh, look, there's my distracted toddler mind. Look how it doesn't like to switch off. And just gently bring your focus back, which was the step before, onto the task at hand. Your focus might be back onto the breath, or back onto a sound, or back onto reciting a mantra, or looking at an image in your mind of green Tara. So that's acceptance. And the last one, again, very important, is gratitude. How to meditate effectively. Show yourself gratitude at the beginning and end of every time you get to sit down to meditate, because first of all, you have the wherewithal and the idea to sit down to do this, which is an amazing thing to do for yourself. This is self-love and self-care. So gratitude for having that inspired thought that led you to do a very beneficial practice, and then gratitude at the end for actually fulfilling that and taking the time to do the meditation. So that is my how to meditate effectively. Preparation, awareness, focus, acceptance, and gratitude. So what I would then say to you, what I would advise you to do, is if you're having trouble with any of this, be resourceful. Find guidance, okay? Find resources that will help you. This is really worth the effort. I promise you, it's really worth the effort. This is one of the best things that you could get going in your life, and it can turn your whole life around. I'm serious. If you are going through serious unhappiness or troubles in a relationship, or lack of confidence, or real health problems, and I've had them, this is the difference in winning or losing. This is the difference in turning the energy around. And when you're in times of strife, you need to really turn energy around. And turning energy around is a kind of alchemy that can be done inside. It can't really come from outside. You can receive big fat checks, the best medicine, the best job, but the alchemy has to always come from within, and the alchemy comes from going within, right? So to master your life, this is most definitely worth mastering. It's like up there, top of the list, you know? I mean, it's up there with sleep, diet, exercise, drinking water, laughing, loving, meditation. It's the big one. I would put it in big flashing neon letters. That's how important it is. And it's been in my life for 20 years, on and off, I'll say, but now it's not off, it's on. I appreciate it. Yeah, 46 years old, I'm a mother, I juggle a lot of things, and I like my connection. I like my sacred time with myself, and I miss it when I don't do it, you know? So find resources. When I say resources, I mean guidance. There are apps that you can use. There are spiritual centers such as Illuminations where you can listen to people like me. So, you know, I'm wanting to teach you how to do it effectively by yourself, but be kind. If you're finding it difficult, use your resources, okay? I've got a lovely schedule of meditation sessions coming up with Illuminations over the next couple of months. Okay, so there's plenty of opportunity to meditate with me. And I'm doing a meditation course in October. And on that meditation course, I pledge time with each and every participant, one-on-one, to personally coach every single one of you until you can meditate effectively on your own, be completely sovereign and autonomous with it, and then it's embedded in your life. And I make sure that that happens on this meditation course. So there are things like courses. Find resources. I also mean like make yourself a special little nook in your house, a special little place which is just for you to sit and meditate, because if you meditate frequently in the same place, you'll build up a resonance, a momentum, a resonant energy around the place that you meditate, and it's just going to be a more pleasant experience for you after a while. So you can get creative with that, however big a space you have, whether it's at the end of your bed, a little corner in your bedroom, or in your lounge, or you have a separate room for it. You can place lovely plants and crystals and some kind of photo of someone you greatly admire. It doesn't have to be a guru or a god, for example. Special meditation bolsters, lovely cushions, you know, nice smelling things. Make it a really pretty luxury space that's so comfortable that you want to hang out with. It's just yours, like it's such a treat when I think of it like that. What other resources to help you? Affirmations. You can use an affirmation to help you meditate. You can use also an alarm clock. So if you're worried about how long you're meditating, or you're not meditating long enough, I suggest you under-promise. You don't over-promise yourself how long you do it, but if you want to use an alarm clock, which is not your phone, by the way, but you can use a timer on your phone for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or you can use an alarm clock. I'd go with one of these cheap plastic alarm clocks where you just press the top, because that's nice. There's no EMF, there's no screens near you at all, no blue light. Other resources. Yes, I didn't say this about timings, but you know, when you're trying to start meditation practice, don't push yourself to do 30 minutes or something really long, or 1 hour. Always do slightly less than you would like, because it's always better leaving an activity feeling high and knowing that you did it well, and having that dopamine release, that reward response for doing something well, than feeling defeated because you tried to sit there for 45 minutes and your knee was hurting or your back was hurting. Going back to resources, sorry, the little tangent about length of time, but going back to finding resources to help you. One thing that I used and still use from time to time, mala. These are excellent. So I used to use this with my yoga clients when we come to do meditation at the end. So I produce these now. These malas, but having a mala, there's 108 beads. Okay, it doesn't matter what's on the mala, but you know, this is a very good prop. When we talk about props for meditation, this is a very good prop, because what you can do is you can recite affirmations, prayers, or breaths using a mala, okay? So you could say Om, right? Om, 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 okay? I'm saying it very brief there, but you got your eyes closed. This is like a counter, right? You know there's 108 beads in it, and you know that when you get to the end, that could be the end of your meditation, or when you get to the end, you put your mala down and you've gone into a much deeper place. It's a prop, a way for you to drill down further deep into yourself, deeper into your meditation practice. So malas are very effective, actually, especially for people who get lots of thoughts in their mind. They get the active toddler mind getting distracted. If you give the toddler mind a toy like this to play with, the mind starts concentrating on how it's holding it, saying the word and then counting a bead, saying the word and then counting a bead. This is enough for the mind to work on. So while the mind's paying attention to the mechanics of the hand and moving the bead and saying the word, it's actually so distractive that you've left it with a toy, and you can go walking off in the background and become the observer. And that's how a mala works. It allows you to step back from yourself. It gives the brain a toy to play with. Okay, I think that might be enough from me. Or maybe, do you want to hear the benefits of meditation? I did type them out because there are so many and I forget. So just to remind you all why we want to meditate effectively to get the benefits of meditation. So let's read through them. In meditating regularly, you'll be better equipped to manage day-to-day stresses and problems as they arise with a degree of equanimity. So with a degree of indifference, should I say. So if things don't work out for you, you're able to step back as an observer and say, oh, that's interesting, it's gone like that again. Or I notice this pattern, this negative pattern that keeps rearing its head, what do I need to change? But with the equanimity, rather than being pulled into the eye of the storm. Meditation brings physical relaxation and better body awareness with all the health benefits that that brings. So we spoke about the level of awareness that you get even when you're preparing to meditate. That brings physiological relaxation, and of course it has a number of health benefits attached to it. Meditating regularly brings a sense of spaciousness and ease into your life. So that's a particularly important one for me. In times when I've been very busy, it's quite easy to feel overwhelming times when you're busy, and just stopping, even if you feel you haven't got time to meditate, just stopping for 10 minutes to meditate gives you that sense of there's plenty of time for everything. There's enough for everything and everyone, and it brings that sense of spaciousness back into the life. Meditation brings greater clarity of thinking, an ability to concentrate, a sense of perspective in your life, leading to better judgment and more effective decision making. That's a good one. Greater emotional positivity and robustness, so you're less on a rocky boat out at sea, you're on more of a stable boat, stable, positive boat, more robust. So obviously that's going to bring benefits to relationships of all kinds. You're greatly, you have greater receptivity to things around you, to other people's emotions, to other phenomena, to things you read and see on TV. You have greater receptivity to beauty also, and to the meaning of life. Greater sensitivity to your own intuition, and you're better able to listen to your inner guidance. Why? Because when you're meditating, you step back from yourself, you become the observer, but you're in a place of stillness, and in that place of stillness you are plugged into universal energy and your higher self. It's you're basically in a channeling state. So in that place where the brain is not working, you're free to just expand into the larger, non-physical, universal version of you. And in that place, you are tapped into infinite energy and infinite wisdom. So in times when you're meditating, it's a channeling state. You'll find that ideas drop in, thoughts, conclusions, decisions drop in, seemingly out of nowhere, but it's not really out of nowhere. It's just that you've got a clear channel and you're able to listen to your heart and your higher self much more clearly. So with the benefits of better quality breathing that you get through meditation, there are super physiological effects on the body and the nervous system, and it enhances the body's own capabilities to renew and heal itself. And with the capability to detach from your mind and situation in meditation, you'll cultivate more compassion towards others. So if you see someone like Dalai Lama, for example, he looks like a very jolly fellow. Clearly he meditates. I mean, obviously he meditates a lot. He has compassion for literally everyone in the world, but he never gets pulled in. So he never gets passionately agitated for the cause or plight of someone else. He maintains his place of just compassion, right? And from that place, people are attracted and they're lifted out of their position by following him. He never steps down into the mire or the drama of the average person in their plight, which of course is exposed to a lot of it. Meditating often, okay, it allows you to be more in touch with who you are, your feelings, your desires, your ambitions, what you want and what you don't want, what you're not prepared to put up with, your boundaries. So it makes you more authentic as a human being. And The older you get, the less BS you want in your life, the more authenticity you want, and the less BS from other people you certainly don't want, okay? It makes you more authentic in your communications then, the way you talk to other people, the way you write emails, the way you choose your projects, the way you conduct your projects, the way you express yourself in your intimate relationship, for example. And you open your mind to new possibilities in general, right? When you're able to detach yourself from the present moment, you can see perspective, you can see horizon, you can start to try and have a vision for yourself 5 years from now, 10 years from now, how you want things to end up. With meditation, you can release any grudges you've been holding on to. That's another big one. Get to know yourself better. And finally, you'll learn how to bring a moment-to-moment awareness to your experience and then apply this so you can respond rather than react in habitual ways to everyday life situations. So you can be an observer in your moment-to-moment situations throughout the day. And you, instead of reacting, coming from a place of reaction all the time, where there isn't really any control, right? When you're reacting, like, you know, people you know, it might be your mum talking to your mum on the phone, or your dad on the phone, press your buttons and you react, especially people that you've had long relationships with. You might have familiar patterns of communication where, you know, you can both blow up or go off the handle at certain things. When you start to meditate, you start to have an awareness of that and can see it coming. You can also divert it or just say, you know what, I don't really want this conversation anymore. That's the end of my list of benefits. I'm sure there are more. How about we do some meditation? So let's get yourself in a comfortable position. I see you're mainly sitting down. Okay, make sure that your back is fairly straight, but as I said before, you don't want to be putting yourself in an uncomfortably rigid position. And make sure your legs and your feet are positioned in such a way that you're not going to get any pains. And take 3 deeper breaths, in and out through the nose, almost like sighs. 3 deeper breaths. And on the 3rd breath, just settle the shoulders, allow the shoulders to sink down. Allow the jaw to release. Allow the scalp to relax. Allow the hands to feel soft and heavy on the chair or in your lap, wherever they are. Allow gravity to let them feel heavy. And then bring your awareness to the breath. Just relax breath in and out through the nose. Now this is the point where you may have a thought or two. It's okay. Just observe and then bring your awareness back to your body and back onto the breath. Relax breathing. Notice the rise and fall of the tummy with the breath. You had the awareness on the breath. Now let's see if we can regulate the breath. So let's now concentrate on making the in-breath as long as the out-breath. very fine, smooth breath going in and out through the nose. Equal in breath, equal out breath. And now let's see if we can count the number of our in-breath and out-breath. So let's just see if we can count our in-breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. Out-breath. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. Now keeping the in-breath at 4, let's see if we can make the out-breath slightly longer. In-breath may be 1, 2, 3, 4. Out-breath 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And continue. If it feels right to you, make the exhale slightly longer again. Maybe exhaling for a count of 6. Inhaling 4, exhaling 6. If that doesn't feel right to you, it's okay. Stay with 5. If you're ready, take it to 6. No forcing or pushing. Gently relaxing body. If it feels comfortable for you, now take the exhale to 7 counts. Inhaling for 4, exhaling for 7. Gentle tide of breath. Coherence over the mind and the breath. As you breathe, let's try something, keeping your eyes closed and keeping the count of the breath with as minimal disturbance as possible. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Bring your awareness to the crown of your head. As you bring your awareness to the crown of your head, the space on top of your scalp, the space 1 inch, 1 centimeter above the top of the crown of your head. See if you can feel the space 1 centimeter 1 inch above the crown of your head. Become aware of any tingling sensations you may or may not feel on the crown of your head. Deep and relaxed breathing, crown of the head. If you feel the tingling, if you feel any tingling, just keep your awareness on this sensation, the crown of your head. If you're not feeling any tingling, that's okay. Just keep your awareness, the space above your head, 1 centimeter or 1 inch above the crown of your head. And as you focus on the crown of your head, I will say a universal prayer for all of us in this session. I speak forth into the presence of our God mind at the center of consciousness within us. You know the direction of everything we should be doing in our lives at this time. Let your influence be with our every thought this day and every day of our life. We open our mind, body, soul, and spirit to your all-knowing mind. Let every thought that comes into our mind come from you. Let everything we feel be inspired by you. Let us always be sensitive to the truth that you are the true life and mind of our being. And let us live each day with the inner certainty that happiness and success are ours already through the inner direction you provide us. For this I give thanks. I let it be, and so it is. Bring your awareness back into the room. Bring your awareness upward and into your body. Become aware of the ceiling and the walls, the floor, the chair, place where you rest. Take a deep breath, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. I hope we're doing all right. I hope that was a nice experience for you. In 1 minute, we'll do question and answers. Thanks for joining me, everyone. Really nice to talk again on my favorite subject. I'm always here. There's a fantastic meditation schedule coming up with Illuminations. Next one is 5th of October. Oh goody, we're going to do 5th of October is a webinar on Ho'oponopono, the Hawaiian practice. It's a form of meditation, but it's a Hawaiian practice of forgiveness. It's so fantastic. If you haven't already done it, I'll go through it and explain to you, and we'll do a group meditation together. Ho'oponopono, that is, on the 5th of October. And then after that, we'll do another Ho'oponopono, but not a webinar or lecture or talking anyway, just a one long juicy practice. Then there are lots more scheduled in anyway over the next couple of months. And I must remind you that there's a meditation course coming up. It starts the 23rd of October, which I'll be running, and I'll personally coach each and every one of you that takes part. So there'll be group sessions where we meet 2 hours every week. You'll learn 8 powerful practices, okay, in mindfulness and meditation, and I will make sure that you're proficient, okay? You're proficient and you learn how to meditate on your own by the end of this course. It's 8 weeks, 8 powerful practices, and each one of you will get a one-on-one coaching session with me, so you can troubleshoot, and there'll be group sessions where there's discussion as well, so everybody can really get to grips with meditation. That's coming up, and after that there are 2 more follow-on courses that get more and more advanced. So there's 3 courses in total. The next one's called Going Deeper, which then goes into a lot of Vedic, mystical, and Tibetan meditation practices, and then the last one is going beyond meditation for healing, energy work, and working with the light body. Sorry. Also I invite you all to check in with me, book an appointment for a free 30-minute consultation with me, okay? Do that with reception. You can book me for the free chat. It's a discovery call if you like. It could be for holistic coaching, it could be for meditation coaching, it could be for holistic health plan coaching, any one of those things. So use me, okay? Questions and answers. If you have any, I'm available now and I'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Selena. Are there any questions, anyone? No one? Sure, not even a tiny little question. I don't mind answering any kind of question. Oh, question. Okay. Let's see this. From Selena. Okay. Is it beneficial to use something like Palo Santo sage before we start to meditate? To clear the energy? Yes, but really it's not necessary, okay? You don't have to have these kind of things, but you may actually like it. Remember we spoke about having a nice space and doing the things that make it feel very special and luxurious to you. So doing some sage before you meditate is a nice thing to do. If you like the smell of sage, remember you've got to sit in that smell for a while. But yes, of course, but not something that you have to do. Don't make a rod for your own back, and don't make it more difficult for you to sit down and just do it. And I would say don't be precious about it. Take 5 minutes if that's all you have, just do it. Okay, that was a great question. From Zaina, is the course online or one-to-one? The course is online, Zaina. It's an 8-week course, 2 hours a week. So in this kind of situation like this, there'll be a group of us and we'll meet for 2 hours, and it will be, part of it will be lecture, talk, part of it will be practice within the group, and then there'll be group discussion. But then for every participant, you get to book in with me and you'll have an hour meditation coaching. And what I do in that meditation course is I invite you to keep a journal. So I invite you to practice every day, okay? And you're going to learn 8 powerful practices. So you're going to go through a range of different styles. Some you're going to like more than others. Some things will bring things up for you, in which case, you know, it's nice if you write it down, then perhaps you want to bring it up with me. But the intention is so that everyone gets one-on-one time in these, separate to the online course, so you can troubleshoot. Right, next question. How to clean the home from negative energy, from Tima. How to clean the home from negative energy. Okay. There are a number of things you can do or use, but the strongest thing, stronger than any kind of I don't know, any kind of prop in your home or anything like that, the strongest thing you have is the source of who you are, right? Your mind, I mean your big mind, okay? So if you've got bad energy in your home and you meditate, that you know just by meditating, you'll master it, okay? It's funny because this question came up, see, in these malas I've got, right, I put a Rudraksha inside. These are quite well, reasonably well known in India, right? And they're meant to have electromagnetic properties, and Brahmins usually prescribe them for certain health benefits and outcomes. And I had a client say to me once about feeling bad luck in their life when they had a certain kind of Rudraksha placed in their home. And I said to them, you only let something bring bad luck into your life if you allow it, right? So if you've got negative, if you feel negative energy in your home, you can just tell it to leave, right? You are the master. You are infinite power and infinite wisdom, okay? And you are attached to that, right? You are more than any kind of external entity, so or energy or bad feeling in a place. So use whatever makes you feel confident, okay? There are a number of different things that I have been exposed to that people use when they want to clear bad energy from their home, or they can get someone in to clear it for them. But these are all things that you can do yourself. So you can chant in a room, you can say prayers in a room, you can smudge, you can burn sage, for example. You can bring lots of laughter and wonderful music into your home. You can play music which you can find on YouTube. What is it? 5 to 8 frequency miracle music, 5 to 8 hertz. You may want to take that down. 5 to 8. You can play sounds in the room. Sound is vibration. Vibration is resonance, and this can clear energy, right? Vibration can clear energy. I've even seen people clapping in corners of their room, right, where they feel there's some bad energy, because sound, again, is vibration. You can shift energy, you can move it out. So negativity is just energy, nothing more, nothing less. Energy moves. We are energy, right? We are attached to source energy. We are way more powerful than anything that is temporary in a house, such as a bad feeling. I hope that helps, by the way. Next question. Is it Elizabeth? Hi, Elizabeth. Is it okay to use the guided meditations from YouTube? Yeah. Yeah, as far as I know, there aren't any axe murderers giving meditations. Yeah, there'll be meditations from me on YouTube as well. This will be on YouTube. But for the most part, there are some lovely meditations, and there are apps with meditations, and there's the Gaia TV channel, which is like a Netflix, but it's called Gaia. You can subscribe to it. That's full of meditations as well. Zaina, law of attraction. What's the question about law of attraction, Zaina? Oh, okay. Responding to energy, love it. I think that's it. Thank you so much, Tima, for the compliment. Any other questions before we go? Hope I'm not missing. Let me scroll to the top. Let me just check. Thank you, Vida. Yeah, I think we're done with the questions. So I bid you all a lovely evening, and I hope to see you next time. I hope to see you around in the ether. It's really lovely to connect with you. I say this every single time, but it's really wonderful for me to connect with other souls, because you're not physically in front of me. I can't touch you, but I know you're there. You know why I know you're there? Because of the energy we share. Okay, you can wipe away all these objects in front of us and between us. Okay, there's probably oceans and land between us, but the connection is everything. And more we need this connection as we move into strange paradigm times, and we're on shifting sands, and it's about connection to each other and to source. So thank you very much, and see you very soon. Bye.